Of course. Of course it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on, my dude?
Not much, man.
How's the weather out there?
Fucking hot, dude. Oh, Jesus Christ, it's hot here.
Really? We're getting fucking bitch... Well, not now. Now it's sunny and beautiful blue sky. We got bitch slapped by, I guess, the outskirts of a tornado. Fuck! Episode 152. D2, BitChute, Vimeo, VO, Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, others? I don't know. There's a lot. They'll be posted in the top comment. Doran, my buddy Doran. Yeah, we got bitch slapped. What's today's date? August 4th, 2020, 3:09 p.m. Eastern Time. Meant to do that earlier. Yeah, dude, it was fucking really windy this morning. It was like some day after tomorrow shit. And, yeah, we lost power at work. But as I'm saying it, I'm realizing how uninteresting it is. So, enough of that. But
Jesus, man.
Yeah. Well,
what kind of weather you guys...
Yeah.
You,
It was like, I think it was the outskirts. It was like, you know, because a hurricane just went by Florida, so we're in Maryland, so I think we just got like the edges of it. And as I was leaving work, like, I have power at home, obviously, which is awesome, but like everything getting close to my home, like all the stores, like no lights, like none of the street lights were working, so there are cops out there, you know, just standard shit. But I was thinking, like, because it had been out for several hours, like we were working at the liquor store, we just had like our phones, like the lights on, but I was like, man, what if there's just like a blackout? And then it hit me, I was like, I bet this is, I was like, 2020 would absolutely do this. 2020 would absolutely give us a blackout during the hottest fucking month of the year. But
yeah,
everything out right until my neighborhood, and I pulled in and I saw someone's porch lights on, and I was like, fuck yeah! So, yeah, so I don't know. Fuck everyone else as long as I got my power. But, yeah, dude, last time you and I talked, we were talking about the insanity of 2020. And I've linked our last episode to so many people. Because we finally concluded what was going to happen next, and we both agreed that someone famous was going to die or someone was going to be murdered. Remember, we were like Tupac, Biggie, maybe something like that, a controversial murder. A couple hours after that episode, George Floyd was killed. And that happened. And we were like, and we even said, we're like, the next time we do a podcast, we're going to look back and be like, hey, they had no idea. Just like during the last podcast, we were like, hey, the previous us never knew about COVID. You know, the biggest problem then was Kobe. And then we were like, and we know about COVID. What will the next us know about? And that's us right now. This is a fucking, I know I'm tying people's brains in a pretzel. But now we know about the BLM riots. What's next? What do the future us? There's about 2 months. So let's say October, we'll do another. What does October us know? Not, and it can't be expected shit. Not known. Of course, it's hurricane season. I mean, what's some like unexpected shit?
Okay, fair enough. Well, I mean, we've been seeing plenty of UFO shit in the news as of late.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
I mean, it does sound a little far-fetched in my mind, but you know,
it's
every last drop of the bucket.
I'd say 2020 is going out swinging. 2020 is not going gentle into that good night. 2020 is when its guns are out, it's pulling out like a fucking knife and taking on the people hand to hand. And once he gets pinned, he's like pulling them like the pin on his suicide vest. 2020 is going out blazing. It's 2020 is not going to, you know, ease out. It's going to go out like a fucking A-bomb. World War II didn't simmer to an end like World War I. It came to a treaty, and it just stopped at 11 a.m. World War II ended with the blinding flash of atomic death over 300,000 civilians. Like, World War II ended with the money shot. I think that's how 2020 is coming out. Whether or not... but I don't think it necessarily has to be bad. I think it just has to be a deviation from the norm. Because everything this year has been a deviation from the norm. It just so happens to be... It's been negative deviations. Kobe, COVID, BLM. It could... Why can't it be a positive deviation?
Fair enough, man. I think it's easy to forget the positives, you know, in our daily world because there's so much, well, excuse my French, but shit going on.
Yeah, just fucking absolute retarded horse shit.
It's hard to see it, right?
Yeah, we're just getting butt fucked.
I don't know, man, but I hope at the end of 2020 we see some much needed justice.
Okay.
I don't know if that has to do with the CCP or
Pedophiles.
any of our politicians or the Jeffrey Epstein case, but
Just like Maxwell.
I think if we saw something to that level of an individual
I think
or
we need a
collectivist government be held accountable, that would be nice in my books.
Is that what we want? Someone to blame? Someone to just beat the fuck up? Just take out...
I think at this point, a lot of Americans do.
I think at this point, yeah, it's just like, we just want... it's like Nuremberg trials. It doesn't even matter that, like, we took the main ones and brought them into a rocket program. A lot of people just wanted to see some fucking crowds hang, and they did, right? I think that's kind of where we're at right now. I think we just kind of want... Yeah. Because Epstein, that was too easy. I think we want, like, a vicious, like, takedown. I think we want someone, like, ruined. And I don't know if that's healthy.
Did you see the files that got released?
Excuse me?
Oh. So you're not familiar?
Dude, time out. My buddy Jack McDermott is trying to find an investor for this podcast. He wants we want to find $100,000 so that for 4 years I can do nothing but podcast and read and just make the best podcast. Because now that I'm working, I'm completely unplugged from everything. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. I get off work and I come home and I'm like, what's up? You're like, the files.
Shit.
What files? Are you fucking with me?
Oh, let me hop on Twitter so I can get this guy's name right. That way I can get him his credibility. And
I saw there was a massive...
Because he deserves it.
I saw there was a massive explosion in Beirut. It was like a fireworks factory. Yeah, that's crazy.
I saw that. That was particularly nasty.
Yeah, that shockwave looked like it was just vaporizing the skyline. So rest in peace to all those people. So what you said? Files, Twitter.
Yes.
What should I Google? I got my phone up. Tell me what to.
So look up Cernovich files.
Cernovich.
So Cernovich is, I think it's like a lawyer
who's Cernovich?
Or a journalist. Anyways, he basically sued the courts to have the files released publicly.
Ooh.
And from what we can tell, there's some pretty disturbing.
What exactly are Mike Cernovich and Alan Dershowitz doing in the Epstein case? I don't see anything in the news, though.
Yeah, probably not. And I think it's a good question to ask yourself, why not?
Very good very good question. Yeah, it's not in the news. Guess it's not real. You're right. Good eye. You're a smart one, Durant. You're a smart one. You got a brain. You got a brain between your ears. Yeah, if it's not there, then then it must not be true. The media would never lie to us. They would never lie to us.
The most disturbing thing about the files is it shows a level of neglect by the FBI with this case.
Neglect or conscious turning the other cheek?
Consciously turning the other cheek.
They're not stupid. I don't look at it. I don't think it's neglect or incompetence. They're not stupid.
Yeah.
It's like when people say like Trump's stupid or they say Obama's stupid or George Bush is stupid. You don't have to like these people. They're not stupid. You do not get to those positions of power. Hillary Clinton, Mike Pence, Mattis, Bill Clinton, Ronald Reagan. You're not stupid. You do not get to that. Joe Biden, he may act dumb. You're not stupid. You do not get to those positions of power being stupid. You get there feigning stupid. And then all the real stupid people like us are like, look at that idiot. He doesn't know what he's doing. Trump's dumb. Obama's stupid. What an idiot. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing 1,000 times better than you'll ever know what they're doing. Sorry. Yeah. I don't think it's not like, stupid FBI, why didn't you get him? It's favors. It's, I don't know. Sorry, I cut you off.
I don't know. It could be, it's a part of some government program, or perhaps it was deep state. Who knows?
Are the UFO?
But there's some interesting details in the files. I will tell you that. I mean, I kind of don't want to spoil it for you, but
spoil it? No, fucking dude. This is fantastic content.
So there's.
Drop the ball, Duran.
Quit teasing.
Quit teasing me.
Described Bill Clinton being at Jeffrey Epstein's island.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And then there seems to be a malevolence from the FBI to try to connect Trump to the case.
If he's connected, I hope they fucking take him down. This can't be a bipartisan thing.
He's not.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, this can't be like Democrats, Republicans. We can't let that other shit. Okay, whatever. We can't have kids being raped and be like, oh well, it was those damn blue dog. No.
Yeah.
They all need to be fucking hung. Like.
Yeah. Well, like I'm not trying to make this an ideological issue.
I got you.
I'm really not an ideologue, but yeah, I'm not trying to make it a partisan or not partisan issue. But in the files, it does kind of suggest.
So,
but that's up to speculation too, because you don't really know how these guys. Well, I don't really know how these guys operate or whatever, But I thought it was interesting.
These fucking demons.
Yeah, basically,
that's what they are, and I don't mean that in some Alex Jones way. But unimaginable demons. No, I mean just like you're a demonic person if you rape kids. Just it's the such evil inflicted on such innocence. That is demonic. You don't need to have wings and horns. It's just that's what else is worse than that. Do you think? Let's put on our tinfoil hats, Duran.
I don't think there's much worse than that, man.
Yeah. Fasten your tinfoil hat, please. The no smoking sign is on. All right, put on your. All right, trays up. Are they releasing UFO files to distract us because it is now becoming inevitable that all the pedophile files are going to come out? What better distraction? We are the cat. What is the bigger laser pointer than UFOs? Ah!
Well, if you're trying to distract nerds...
We've put the helmets on. We've put the hats on. We've put the hats on. What better way, man? That has been a 73 years since Roswell. They've been teasing us. They've been tickling the balls for... I guess if that's what you're into. They've been 73 years they've been teasing us.
Yeah, they've been blue balling us for a while.
Ultimate distraction, man. Ultimate distraction.
Man, I mean,
what better way?
It's not.
It's a flashbang.
It's not a bad theory.
It's a flashbang.
It's not a bad theory. The other issue, that we have going on in this country is, it's not so much that we have capitalism; it's that we have corporatism, where it's like the 1% of the 1% controls everything, right?
Yeah, it's pure socialism for them. It's pure corporate crony capitalism, socialism for them. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you look in some of the bigger issues, like I don't know, like the war on poverty or the war on drugs, for that matter, and you look at the welfare state and this and that and the other thing, I think it's pretty clear that there's a certain degree of corporate interests that influence these things.
What's even crazier is what's the number? It's like if you make more than like something like $16,000 a year, you are in the 1% globally. We're so used to going to the 1% as like fat guys in pinstripe suits in Manhattan, just like top hats, like eating caviar off a platinum plate. But like, no, it's like if you have running water, you're in the 1%. Not in the top 50. You're in the 1% of the world. I didn't really have any point or thing to go off of that. It's just kind of a thought. Do you think? So I talked yesterday with my buddy Trey. Do you think that the reason why UFOs have been kept quiet for 73 years is not because the whole, the people will freak out, but rather is if a UFO is here and it's from a different alien world, even just the closest star is 4.3 light years. For it to be here meant that it got here, and if it got here, what's the power source? And once you conclude, well, it has a power source, but this thing is only 50 feet wide, clearly it doesn't have like a reactor the size of a city. Well, now that means that there is a power source physically possible, because this had it, that could potentially provide, if it could get from several light years away to here in any sort of reasonable time, even 100 years, then what does that mean for the petrodollar? What does that mean for because those are the handcuffs that the elite have on the world, is the petrodollar. Yeah. Nations don't matter. Saudi Arabia, America, it doesn't matter. It's the
not to those guys.
No. It's who who literally can turn the lights on and off. Nothing else matters.
Who has them by the balls?
Who has and I think that's probably a transnational group in the shadows, but that doesn't matter if all of a sudden this thing comes along and it's got a little device. What Bob Lazar said, he said it was about the size of a trash can. So if we can get this thing go, oh man, if we could just build one of those, we could power the whole world. No more climate change, infinite resources for everyone, infinite clean water for everyone, food for everyone, universal basic income, education, safety. I think not like I know this shit, but I would imagine the vast majority of conflicts would go away, because most conflicts are from resource scarcity. Is if everyone had a place to sleep and eat and drink and have clean water and opportunity, you'd probably see a lot less fucking just everything depraved. You would also have no top-down power structure. It'd be like, what if I was the only one with an iPhone charger in like a whole, like whatever, let's say like you, me, and like 5 other people live together. If I'm the only one with like an outlet, it doesn't even matter if like I want something from you that has nothing to do with an iPhone. I'm just going to be able to leverage that no matter what. You know? Hey dude, give me some of your beer. I mean, if you want to charge your phone later. Hey dude, give me a ride to campus. Hey dude, give me some Taco Bell. It permeates to everything. It is just a power. What's the last thing I'm going to do? If someone comes in, or if UFO lands one day, a power strip flies through the window and it's got 8 outlets on it. Bullshit that I'm going to show that to everyone. I'm taking that thing, putting it under here. Nope, it was nothing. You didn't see anything. Some Bob Lazar character comes out. Hey, Tommy's got a power strip in there. Nope, fake news. That guy's, nope, he's a conspiracy theorist. Because there goes my whole... Because what happens if I don't have that fucking carrot or stick dangling over you guys? Well, I have no other redeeming traits except being a cunt with a monopoly. So I am useless. It is a girl. It is a smoke show girl who, at some age, is no longer attractive, and then you realize, oh, she has no personality or skills. You don't need her anymore. Now, if she has the ability to somehow pause aging, this is kind of a weird example, but you get what I'm saying, right? So I think that's what it is. I think it's kind of like the whole why are psychedelics
for their last breath.
Yeah, why are psychedelics illegal? Terrence McKenna's like, it's not because, if they become legal, everyone's going to jump out of windows. He's like, no, it's because you take psychedelics and you realize just how crazy the world is and you're getting fucked, and that, love is the answer. But you can't have that. You can't have that if you're running a defense industry. Same thing, man. I think the straw man.
McKenna, man.
What a fucking trip he is.
My friend was telling me about that. Telling me about him earlier. Shout out to Caden.
Yeah, shout out Caden. Dude, Terrence McKenna is a god. He is fucking. You need it. Food of the Gods by Terrence McKenna is fantastic. But
yeah, that's what I hear.
Yeah,
I hear. I mean, I've heard I need to read more into him.
It's a good book. But yeah, I think there's a similar straw man. And it's not, why aren't they releasing UFOs? Well, the first answer is, well, there's no such thing. But if you can get someone to at least entertain the idea that they exist, what are they going to say? Oh, well, they're not going to release it because, everyone will go crazy. Whether or not we found UFOs or aliens, dude, you still got to pay your fucking bills. You still got work on Monday. You're still arguing with your girlfriend. Your parents are still sick. All the same shit's here. Just like COVID. I mean, at first it's like, oh my God, COVID. And then it's just like, now here we are. just doing a podcast. Like, you know, it's like eventually shit kind of... I just got back from work, had to wear a mask, but it's still like, you get used to it. Even if there were fucking UFOs, I think it would be insane for like a couple weeks. And then it would be like, yo, Tom Brady, dude, not on the Patriots this fall. And we'd all be right back. Our stupid human brains would be right back to it. Because, I mean, ultimately, what does that mean? Okay, it's like, it doesn't really have an effect. It's like, wow, that's crazy. Aliens. Okay, Rick and Morty, season 6, let's go, baby. You know, it's because it doesn't have any real effect on us unless it can be reverse engineered and it can completely, no pun intended, change the power situation. If there is power and energy from that, literal power and energy, literal the ability to do work, that changes everything because it no longer... What is Saudi Arabia? They no longer have anyone by the balls. Or the U.S. controlling all these oil channels. No, it no longer matters. So what's going to happen now that no one needs to be paying rent to us anymore? I don't know. I've been ranting. I'm sorry.
No, man. It's crazy to think, you know, that something so simple as love is the answer, you know, and then it becomes a question of, okay, well, if it seems so simple to me, then how come other people aren't getting it? And I think that's the more interesting question.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's just a simple psychedelic trip away. It's right there. But if you keep it illegal, maybe no one ever touches that. It's like what if the answers to life were always hovering 10 feet above us? But what if like the human like skeleton never evolved to like do this, so we can only look left and right? It doesn't matter if the answer is right there. If no one ever looks up, then we're gonna go for generations. We're gonna go for eons. We're gonna go from wooden ships to fighter jets without ever looking up. It's just gonna be... So, like, what if the answer is just one mushroom trip away? Well, how do you keep that power structure? Ban those things.
Well, it's like, well, when you talk about these hierarchies, you know, I think it's important to realize that they're not all based entirely on power, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a lot of things at play. And I think it's really complicated, you know, but it's like, you know, psychedelics, for example, you know, I think I was watching this documentary, you know, this one time on, I think it was Netflix. They had a documentary on synthetics. And so they were talking about these party drugs or, mm-hmm. you know, MDMA, you know, et cetera, you know,
mm-hmm.
you know, and it talks about your usual psychedelics, which I think is like LSD and mushrooms or psilocybin, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, so the documentary, like, it goes in depth to explain that, like, a lot of the original intent behind these things was for research and for their potential in our society.
Yeah.
But then that got upheavaled, you know, almost overnight. So, you know, it raises the question, who's pulling the strings, you know?
Well, I mean, dude, think about the 60s, dude. Did it not seem like you're only 20 years out from World War II, and now all of a sudden you got the Beatles, fucking Jimi Hendrix, Woodstock, people are growing out their hair. They were fucking more, like, open with sex and drugs then than we are now. And it was only 20 years removed from World War II. Like, no one questions Uncle Sam. Think of how insane that was. People were literally, what, Timothy Leary, turn on, tune in, drop out. Like, society was dissolving. People were just, why do I need to have a white picket fence and a 9 to 5 when I can just grow my hair out to my ass, get in a fucking van, and follow the Grateful Dead across the country? Who cares? Like, tomorrow we die. And, like, that was happening by the millions. Look at San Francisco. Like, it was like acid just dissolving this, like, rock structure of society. Just like it's nothing. Just like, almost like the A-bomb. Just poof, just going through a city. Concrete, steel. It's all just turning to a white cloud. Psychedelics are almost just like this, like nuke, just evaporating everything, and then it stopped. War on drugs. Like, gotta end this shit now. Gotta end this shit now. Like, it is. We do not like this. This is no. This is fucking up our game because we're in charge here. And we can't have these people, realizing they're one with the universe and nature is just one huge superorganism. You can't have that. You gotta have division. You gotta have, it's Vietnam War. Stop thinking about psychedelics. Go to war, son. What do you think? Am I just ranting? Am I a crazy person?
I don't know, man. Like, I think there's some interesting connections with events in the 60s. But, like, I wasn't thinking, like, Woodstock. I was thinking, like, the assassination of Kennedy.
Both Kennedys, moon landing.
Yeah. Yeah, the moon landing. And then, was it the 60s or the 50s that Bob Lazar was doing his stuff initially?
That was 89.
Was it 89? Oh, man, I'm off.
Couple decades off. He's got the spirit.
Man, but no, seriously, what? I feel like there's a big event. I don't think I'm talking about Bob Lazar.
Roswell, the UFO, the saucer crash. That was 1947.
Oh, okay. So
1947.
Still a couple decades off, but that's earlier than I thought.
Washington D.C.
Okay, Oswald.
The UFO wave of D.C. That was 1952. Yeah, I mean, what was Sputnik, like 59?
What do you think?
What? What's up?
What do you think those aliens are doing? Why are they watching this?
My buddy Trey said it yesterday. He was like, Neil deGrasse Tyson always says, why would aliens watch us? We're so insignificant and boring to them. He's like, do you go outside and just look at ants? And my buddy Trey said yesterday, bitch, there are people whose lives are devoted to studying ants. Maybe they're just interested, Not everything is a cure for cancer or infinite power. Some people study fucking, the eddies of wind currents around the tips of turbine blades because that's just what they're passionate about, Maybe we are ants, maybe not everything is the quantum unified string theory of everything. Maybe there's some aliens that are just like they're getting their PhDs in humans. It might be, man. Maybe they're just fucking students doing their undergrad research. That's all it is.
Maybe.
That's all it is. To us, it seems like this omnipotent flying saucers. It's the contact. In reality, those are just like some like below average aliens. But they're just 10,000 years ahead of us. And they're just, hey, look at humans. We're no different than some like random new species of toad. They're just like, oh, wow, look at us. And there's no philosophical implications. It's not like, oh, my God, they're making contact. Are we the chosen ones? No, it's literally just like, hey, we found another subset of carbon-based life form. All right, this is number H1444337 in the Milky Way galaxy. And we're just getting cataloged. It might just be that, dude.
When they're studying our brains, are they like mere morsel?
Probably
not smart enough yet.
Yeah. Well, Trey brought up a good point yesterday. He was like, "What's the first things we sent to space?" First is just like a radio transceiver. He's like, "What are the first living things we sent up? A monkey, a dog? We didn't send up humans. What if the first UFOs? They're super advanced. They're super intelligent beings on there. What if those are just their dogs? Like we are like, what is this genius, godlike entity? In reality, it's just like that's their spot." Like, come here, boy. Like, they just sent it out. Like, the real aliens are just like God tiers. Just like, we're like, the smart one. We will take you to our leader. And the reality is, it's like, it's just the equivalent of like a good fluffy boy. but it's still smarter than Einstein. Like, but that's their dog. And we're just like, it's finally happened. The smart ones. But it's just like, us is like fetch. Like, it was just playing fetch, but it was playing fetch in a UFO. I don't know. The other point we brought up was Rogan's point. What if Earth is just... what word am I forgot it yesterday, too. God damn it. Tijuana. What if Earth is just Tijuana? And it's like, they're the nights where you go out with your friends and you go to bars and try to talk to girls and swing and miss and whatever. There are house parties. But then, those like special kind of nights where it's just you and your close friends and no one is dressed up. Everyone's just in sweatpants and you're around a bonfire. And those are the nights that you get more fucked up than any other time. You end up doing crazy shit. You end up on the roof or you're somehow in the chimney and you're doing just weird. That's when you break shit. You know what I'm talking about? Was I just crazy? Yeah, no, it's not when you're with your childhood friends and you guys are getting hammered and lighting shit on fire. The real stupid shit, right? What do you do on those are the nights where it's like you order like 17 pizzas and it's like, hey, let's get some like blow up dolls and dildos and fireworks. Like, I remember we got like super fucked up in 2014 at my friend's bachelor party. We didn't go to some bar and have strippers. No, we wrapped we made like an Iron Man suit out of Bud Light boxes. And then they covered me in bug spray and shot me with a flare gun. And but just dumb shit, not, So what if so it's like Tijuana. It's like you're just getting blackout drunk and it's like, it's almost like Vegas. It's like The Hangover. It's like, let's go to Tijuana. Let's get some McDonald's. Let's rip this bong. Let's go to fucking Tijuana. Let's do it. Let's just go crazy. What if that's what Earth is? And they just come here when they're really fucked up. Like, let's go fuck with the humans, right? It's almost like going by a zoo. Like, hey, man, I dare you to go jump in like the thing with the bears. Yeah, stay there for 5 seconds, then you can jump out. What if that's what UFO sightings? They're just partying. They're bachelor parties. They're just coming down. They're like, yo, do a drive-by. And they just zing by an aircraft carrier. And, we're opening up on them. They're like, whoa! They're just screaming. They got bras hanging off the thing. And they're just fucking wasted. That's what it is, though. And then...
I mean, I'd see it.
Yeah, but what happens every once in a while?
Taking psychedelics.
Yeah, just doing Oh no, that's like a research thing. I'm talking about just some like the equivalent of like frat boy like aliens. They're just fucking hammered. It's their spring break. They're just doing coke and they're just let's go fuck with the humans, man. It's like cow tipping. They're like, let's go fucking steal some people. And what happens every once in a while, not every once in a while, a lot of the while, don't drink and drive, kids, is someone wraps their fucking car around a telephone pole. What if that's what Roswell is? They wrecked their car. And that's what the UFO is. And they all got.
Rick and Morty had a little bit too much to drink.
Yeah. It's like they're all back home, and it's the aliens are like, you dipshits, you crashed the fucking saucer, If I crash,
now them dumbasses don't have that fucking thing.
Now they have that fucking thing, and that was my saucer. If I crashed my dad's saucer when I was your age, he would have whipped my ass. You fucking spoiled bitches. You're over there. You're going to pay for it. You're going to work fucking 10 summers straight. You're going to pay for that saucer. Now these fucking humans got it. We can't go get it because now they're looking at us. You dipshits. That's what it is. But of course, it's like a frat. It's like pledging. They make pledges do it. Like, I thought we're not supposed to go by Earth. And it's like, dude, if you want to be in this fraternity, you got to fucking nut up. And it's like, oh, God damn it. So that's why it still happens. It's just some pledges.
What do you think happened to the survivors at Roswell, if any alien survivors?
Well, because I am well versed in UFO lore, apparently, there were three entities. One died on impact. They recovered 2. One died like a month later, and one died in like 1952. Not that I don't go balls deep into these fucking conspiracy theories or anything, but that is like the accepted lore. Hey, I gotta go piss real quick. Can you talk and fill the dead air for 30 seconds, Duran?
Yeah.
Talk about UFOs.
Yeah, man. Those UFOs, crazy. I mean, if you guys haven't seen the videos that the Pentagon has released as of late, and just do a quick Google search and go see them because it's crazy. And like Tommy was saying earlier, you kind of got to ask, why are they telling us this now? Are they impeding our doom? Are they? Are leaders trying to tell us something, or is it just, we don't know what the hell these things are, but there's really no point in keeping it a secret from the public, so might as well tell them. Who knows? But yeah. I think the most bizarre thing about the whole Bob Lazar, UFO conspiracy, if you want to call that whole thing a conspiracy, was like the element and how he said the element
is 115,
specifically this, and this, and then years later, well, it appears that they synthesized said element this, and this, and it has properties of this, and this, which is very interesting. And it goes to show, the level of intelligence, these beings must possess if they're able to have a stable isotope of this, because we're not even able to have, a stable isotope of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, it lasted like a few seconds, a few milliseconds?
That stuff's like millionths of a second. The super unstable element, yeah.
Yeah.
But it did have the same properties.
I think that one's a little bit up to debate, but yeah, I mean, essentially, yeah. So he predicted where it was going to be on the periodic table, which you do by property.
Yeah. So, my only counter argument, as much as I love Bob Lazar, my only counter argument, I guess, to you do hear that a lot. Well, he predicted element 115, and then we synthesized it. Well, I mean, I can predict element 151. We will in time, maybe in 10 years, maybe in 150 years, we will reach it. Isn't it like? Sounds like someone's breaking into my house. Hello? No, I guess not. Doran, if I die, you can have my podcast. Apparently it's theorized that it's physically possible. It might only be for a trillionth of a second, but apparently it's physically possible to create some up to element 5,000. So I don't know. Does that make sense? So I don't really see the prediction of 115 being, and then us getting to it, because you can choose any number right now. Tommy, 3:46 p.m. August 4th, 2020. Element 210. In time, we will get to element 210. Now, do I know the properties? That's where I think credibility would come in. But just predicting an element, period. It's like saying I predict that there will be a Christmas 2034. In time, there will be a Christmas 2034. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But everything else, I think he's just too fucking smart. And it seems like he's getting more and more corroborated. Doesn't it? It seems. I think that's got to be. How else can 2020 end? It has to be that. There's no other ending. It has to be that, right?
Yeah. What if it's some bizarre thing where, we learn that the Bible was correct, this entire time, and that the second coming and Christ was actually aliens, and they're coming back to harvest our organs or some shit, Who knows?
That's not beyond at this point, dude. I'm like, probably. I mean, what would be the effective difference in the second coming of Christ and an alien power that came and gave us limitless energy and thus a utopia? Is that they're both divine. They're both bliss. They're both transform the world into a Garden of Eden.
Well, I think it's the same thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. I just hope that 2020 ends in a good way.
It could. Again, it doesn't have to be a bad thing, right?
Right.
Did you see Elon tweeted yesterday? Aliens built the pyramids. Because he went to Egypt. He's like, I'm going to go see this shit for myself. And then he went, and then he tweeted, okay, aliens definitely built the pyramids.
I didn't see the last one. I saw the first one.
What are you talking about?
So when Elon said aliens built the pyramids.
Elon on Rogan? What are you talking about? Didn't he tweet that yesterday? Am I fake news? Am I fake news? I hope I'm not fake news. Elon pyramid aliens. 2 days ago, Egypt tells Elon Musk the pyramids were not built by aliens, but the tech tycoon tweeted excuse me. Egypt has invited billionaire Elon Musk to visit the country and see for himself that its famous pyramids are not built by aliens. On Friday, the tech tycoon tweeted, Friday, July 31st, the tech tycoon tweeted, aliens built the pyramids OBV. So OBS.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, oh man, I'm trying to remember the name of the dude on. I think he's on the Joe Rogan podcast, but
Graham Hancock.
He has what?
Graham Hancock.
Yes, Hancock and
Randall
what's
Carlson.
the other?
Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson.
Yeah. I think their theory is really interesting. I haven't really checked the validity to it, but interesting nonetheless.
I actually bought on Audible. I actually bought Graham Hancock's book, Fingerprints of the God. I actually bought it this morning.
Oh, really?
I was thinking about it last night, and I was like, man, because I've been listening to alien UFO books recently. Before that, I was listening a bunch on the CCP. And what I try to do is I always try to learn shit every day, but not in I don't choose a topic and say I have to learn that, because I'll grow to hate it if I force myself to do it. So instead, I sort of just it's almost like a metal detector. Warm, cold. I kind of just feel out general topics, and there's almost I don't know. It's almost like a compass. I can almost kind of feel it, the thing that my brain is now interested in. And I was running over the metaphorical bumps, and it's like pyramids, and I was like, fuck yeah, pyramids, conspiracies, let's do it. And then so that's where my mind is now.
Man, I don't know if you've read into the geopolitics of what's going on in the South Pacific right now.
I haven't.
Oh,
China?
That's a really interesting matter. Oh man, I wish there was a lot more that I can recall right now. But basically, China's trying to use soft power to gain influence in that region.
What's soft power?
So hard power would be military conflict, right? Or violence.
Mm-hmm.
Or that's hard power, right? So soft power would be bribes.
Okay.
Or rigging elections, or so and so. And so basically, they're going to these islands. They're giving these island nations, $1 billion, which they can't, afford.
You can't turn down.
And then they're building these, either these hotels or these conference buildings or
the Belt and Road Initiative.
Yeah, and they can't even afford to, pay the power for the place. And it's okay, what's China's strategy here? Well, it comes to be that the same harbor or same dock that they built for so-and-so cruise ships that they're going to bring into the area are also long enough to hold an aircraft carrier.
No, the Belt and Road Initiative is a nefarious anaconda slowly moving around the third world, and it's getting ready to constrict. Yeah,
I think it was Australia. I think they were talking about passing I think it was a $230 billion defense budget.
Australia?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
To what? To counteract the CCP?
Yeah, I think that's their goal there. I mean, it's a lot different than here. We don't really worry about Canada.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Hostile nations up there.
Yeah, we're not oh shit, when's Canada pouring over the border? Yeah.
When are them fucking Canadians?
Yeah, we don't give a. We see them. It's howdy. They're howdy. Peace. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we got cartels down south, and it's a little. But even then, they're not this formidable, technologically advanced. They behead people. That's evil and shit, but it's not they don't have stealth fighter jets.
Yeah. I don't know. Belt and Road Initiative is really interesting. When you when you look at it from like I think it was like a former U.S. Naval Intelligence officer or something like that. He was saying that, if you think about it, it provides a perfect measure to cut like countries like Australia off from the U.S.
Yeah. Come in, provide free shit. Or, hey, here's a bunch of stuff. You can't pay us back? Don't worry about it. Do you mind if we park our destroyers here? Yeah, sure, you can do it. All right, thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And it's, yeah.
What was it? Like, they found, I think there was like this spy that defected from Beijing, and he applied for one of their protective visas down in Australia, right? Which is really interesting because his whole story was really interesting. Look that up. I won't spoil it for you, but it's very scary to think that guys like that are like moving along in Western universities or this and that, and
absolutely.
they're committing espionage left and right.
Yeah, absolutely.
They don't really care.
Absolutely, they are. Yeah, oh yeah. No, if you don't think that they're here in entirety, they absolutely are.
Yeah.
Stealth War by Brigadier General Robert Spalding. You want an audible book that will scare your dick off? Yeah. Yeah. This guy was a former briefer to the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He wrote this book like 2 years ago. Yeah, he talks... Oh, no, it is legitimately... I think you would thoroughly enjoy it, actually. It's... Yeah, he talks about it. They have a 100-year plan. And it's... The Belt and Road Initiative is a huge part. But yeah, it's a stealth war. It's not a conventional bombs and tanks. It's everything else. It's their tentacles are in universities, in patents, in companies. Yeah, building ports around third world countries. It's something that it's Cthulhu. It's just like crawling over the world. And unlike the Soviets, where they were big, bad, and loud, and thus easy to paint as an enemy, it's much harder to paint China as an enemy because a lot of people are like, "What are you talking about? It's China. It's just China,
It's just fucking China,
It's just fucking
They're
China.
Harmless.
They're harmless. Ha ha ha. Chinese.
They just enslaved millions of people. That's it.
Yeah, they only put 2 million Muslim Uyghurs in concentration camps for re-education. But it's just China. It's just China, guys. It's only the second time in a decade.
TikTok. Don't ban TikTok.
It's fun, guys.
It's not a national security issue.
It's fun.
Don't ban TikTok.
Yeah, don't ban Huawei. Why are you doing this? It's only the second time in a decade that a pandemic's come out of there. H1N1 and now COVID-19. But hey, you fucking bigot.
Did H1N1 come from there?
You goddamn right it did.
From the Southeast Asia?
You goddamn right it did.
Oh,
I hope I'm not fake news. I hope I'm not fake news. Let me look that up.
I wouldn't be surprised because... What was it? I read a book years ago that basically said that almost every pandemic, almost every future pandemic we will see, we should expect it from that region.
Excuse me, I've been correct. H1N1 was first detected in the United States and spread to the rest of the world. I am fake news. I apologize.
What was patient 0?
I don't know. H1 blah blah blah. I don't know. It says April 12th, 2009. I am fake news. I apologize. I'm completely incorrect. So it's just China, bud. It's just that.
Well, I think the worry, there is they have live markets like
wet markets.
So I read what?
Wet markets.
Is that what they call them?
Yeah, wet markets.
Wet markets? Okay. Yeah. So they have wet markets and whatnot. So it's like, I read this book, what was it, like 2 or 3 years ago. So it talks about the zoonotic events, right? So virus jumping between species to species, evolving in such a way that it can, do this and that, those processes are fascinating, but I won't bore the audience with the details. But it was like so they had these viral outposts in Africa, right? And so they went to a couple villages, just a couple kilometers apart, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they were looking for zoonotic events, basically, or jumps.
Mm-hmm.
Jumps.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, from these two villages, they found completely new strains of HIV that were completely different. So they're able to figure out that these zoonotic events were happening in more than one place.
Fuck.
So it's like viral pandemics will always be a worry,
Yeah,
that's the crazy thing.
It's never going to go away. No.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that what the common cold is? Isn't the flu? Isn't it the same thing as the 1918 pandemic? We're just very good at containing it. Is that fake news? I need to stop talking on this because I am fake news right now. I am being fake news. And that is what I despise. So I apologize to the listeners. What is not fake news, though, is goddamn UFOs. I'll stand by that. I'll die on this hill. Lock and loaded, fuckers.
No, was it so the Spanish flu was a variant of influenza we know now that was potentially very potent, or it seemed to be that way.
What do you mean potentially? It was. It killed a fucking ton of people. It wasn't potentially. It killed like 50 million people. When it comes to those
kind of things, man, I'm never too sure.
Yeah, so neither am I. You're right. I feel like I know about a lot of stuff, but I don't know the specifics on that, and I'm hesitant to talk about it because.
Well, I know of a guy that reanimated the Spanish flu, right?
Why?
Or I guess there's some lab that did it.
Was it Dr. Evil? Jesus Christ, who the fuck did that? Was it inside of a volcano? Where's this guy live? Super villain shit?
Nah, completely the opposite. They're trying to predict, courses of where viruses can become more virulent.
So Yeah. By the protein structure, can flip it up and, hit you with a remix. That's all it is. It's just sequels every year. Shitty sequels.
Yeah, it's just going on offense.
It's just shitty sequels. That's all it is. It's just it's season 100. They stopped being good after season 3, but they're getting money. So the flu is just it's like The Simpsons. It's just does any of the original writers, are they even still alive, or is it just a thing? Family Guy, it's just kind of this amalgamated formula of just I don't know, Duran. Did you see? Have you ever heard about the nuclear ants? I remember reading about it a couple years ago. Apparently, there's one of the silos that's been, the SALT treaties, SALT treaties of the Cold War. I think there's SALT 1 and SALT 2. Basically, what led to the massive reduction in nuclear stockpiles on both the USSR and the USA. Well, apparently, one of the sealed ones in Russia, there's I know I'm butchering this, one of the warheads kind of opened up, and it's just the radioactive material. Nothing, not a Chernobyl. It was just a radioactive waste. It's fine. It's just contained. There's probably a million of these spots all over the world. Apparently, they somehow found that there was a population of ants in there that had been in there since it was sealed up. And they had mutated and evolved to a point where the only ones that survived and bred were these ones that could consume radioactive material and survive. So it's radioactive ants. And it's well, how do they survive? Well, apparently they eat each other. So they're cannibalistic radioactive ants. But they're sealed in this nuclear silo. You can't get in. It's the ultimate security. Well, apparently that opened up a couple days ago somehow. And now all the ants are gone. Fuck. Now all the ants are gone. So there's 1 million cannibal nuclear ants. 2020, baby. 2020, baby.
That's too fucking great, man.
but I feel like it's going to be the murder hornets. The murder hornets, they never made a really big presence on the stage of 2020, right?
Well, it's I think I was reading an article the other day that in Washington is the state where they appear to be right now, or you know. So they said that they captured it, and now it's a race to find the hive basically and get rid of it before they breed.
Jesus. Oh Jesus.
So I'm hoping that's our bug guys. I hope they have their stuff figured out and,
God damn it.
and are able to identify it. Soon enough, because our bees here don't have the. Well, they weren't, frankly, but they weren't in the arms race between those murder hornets and the Japanese bees.
What about if there was like a discovery of like a massive undersea creature or creatures, not like Cthulhu, but like a megalodon, something that did exist? Are we gonna see that? Are we gonna see some sea monsters?
I think a giant turtle island.
A giant turtle island, just an island that's moving. Me and my friends used to get fucking super baked on a sailboat in Lake Lanier in Georgia. And we would get so high sometimes, and we just pulled the sails. It's just the most upper class white kid thing ever. Get high on a sailboat, but we would lay there and we just just get torched. And we always had a DD for legal purposes. I'll say that. But we would just sit out there and just kind of stare, just at the water, just fish, what you do on pot. And we used to look at the islands out there, covered in trees, and we were like, don't those just look like the backs of giant turtles? And that's what we'd always talk. We'd be like, oh, fuck, what if that was a thing? Giant island turtles. That wouldn't be that bad, though, right? Are they mean? Are they carnivorous?
Well, in Avatar, they're not.
Yeah.
They're very wise.
Yeah. What? There are turtles in Avatar?
Yeah, so I'm talking about the cartoon.
Oh no, I'm talking about the movie. No, I have no idea. Yeah, giant that wouldn't be scary if there were just these things and they just ate plankton, like whales. They just were sucking in water all the time and pulling out the nutrients. I don't think that would be as scary. Maybe the size of an aircraft carrier. It would be intimidating. You definitely wouldn't want to be in the water with it, but it wouldn't be it's not like it's a shark or a dragon, right? It's something that you could watch on a documentary and it would just kind of be it would be neat. I don't want to go near it, but it would be neat. Versus you watch a documentary on sharks and you're like, fuck that, I don't care if I'm in the middle of Georgia. You're get me away from the nearest pond.
I don't know, man. I feel as humans we're mistaken by trying to read other animals' intentions or
with anthropomorphize
emotions,
them.
Because yeah,
anthropomorphize.
Well, then you get in the whole debate. I mean, yeah. I mean, in order to understand them, you can't understand them from the set of standards we have in our society, right?
Yeah, suburban.
So it's when you look at the tiger.
Yeah. It's so cute. Look at those big paws. He looks like a Disney creature. Rips your fucking kid's face off and then fucks your husband to death and then rips your throat out. Yeah, it looks it looks adorable, but it's a demon. It's a fucking this thing has been
to eat.
Yeah, it's been fine honed to murder for 100 million years. I think that's probably the most that's the weirdest part about the ocean is it's right there. I mean, it's maybe 2 miles from my house, and it's a thing that there is over twice as much of it than there is of land. It is that we are the minority. Land-dwelling creatures, we are the minority on this planet. It's not that, oh, look, there's an ocean, there's a lake, and they're in there. No, we're on islands in their world. We are these little pockets of Earth. And it's all connected. And we can't survive under it. And so we can't, I mean, you can hold your breath and look down, but it's just this thing, and it's just everywhere. It's cold, it's salty, we can't drink it. We can't stay out there for long. And it has dinosaurs in it. Dinosaurs. Sharks stopped evolving 110 million years ago because they've become the perfect killing machine. It's not even a tiger or an ape or an eagle, where those are all still relatively new in evolutionary terms. Relatively new. These things are dinosaurs. These things are the OG. These are the original killers. These are the fucking...
Giant squids.
What?
Giant squids.
Yeah, oh, you're right, giant squids. Because there actually is evidence of that.
Sperm whales, yeah.
Oh,
That's an
yeah,
interesting
don't
one.
giant squids eat fucking whales or something? Aren't they like 100 feet long?
Yeah, it's something the amount that like this, the sperm whales love feeding on the squid, basically.
Oh, I thought it was vice versa.
And so they pick fights with them
Giant squid. Let's see.
for a meal. But I could be mistaken. I could be fake news.
The largest squid was 43 feet long and weighed a ton. Jesus fuck. Jesus fuck. Oh no. Mysterious scars on Hawaiian shark could be a sign of a giant squid attack. They're attacking sharks. Oh my god. They can dive up to 1,000 feet.
What if aliens are just from the oceans?
Yeah, I think that's a perfect hypothesis. That is the basis of Pacific Rim. They come through a wormhole in the ocean. But yeah, no, not even a wormhole. Like, what if they just exist down there? How the fuck would we know?
I feel like that would be insane.
I think that probably makes the most sense. Perfect place to hide. Because we can use our telescopes and look across the galaxy. We can't even map the ocean floor.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine if they were down there.
Yeah, just chilling. I mean, it's like, well, where's Atlantis? Well, Plato thought that it was somewhere in the vicinity of the Azores.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, we don't know. The ocean's massive, and according to legend, that's in the ocean. And so what if Atlantis is like some alien base or something?
Oh, no.
And it's in the ocean.
Oh, no. What if we are like... What if, like, they exist under the ocean, and they've been existing down there, and they moved to the ocean once they detected the meteor that killed the dinosaurs. They're like, we got to get underwater because it's like the surface of the earth is about to be hell. What if we are like their periscope? They like threw up some humans, and they're like, let's see if they can survive. It's almost like putting a canary in a coal mine. And we're just walking around. We created baseball and Snapchat, and we're just like, we have no idea that we're literally just. They're just like, hey, they're looking through. Like, they're not dead yet. Like, I think we can go up now. I think we can go up now. I don't know, man.
I believe it.
So would I. I think that's the problem, though. Is like, I want to believe all this shit. I'm not objective. I'm not like, let's look at the facts about the UFOs. Are they just light phenomena? What are they? Are these people crazy? I see like one like third-hand report, and I'm like, well, that's it. Case closed. Intergalactic aliens. They're here, fuckers. If that's all we need. Nope. If you don't believe in it, you're fake news. Fuck you. Yeah. So I'm not unbiased. I want it to be true.
Yeah, I'd like to a lot of theories to be true. I mean, it's like the Epstein files. We just don't know shit about what's really going on, you know?
You're right. We're just in the dark.
Yeah, there's just giant pedo rings going around.
Like
aliens.
Yeah. Is it being declassified, or are they in control of all of this? Is there no, like, you know, the truth is eating away at them, the walls are closing in. What if all of this has been orchestrated? The pedophile leaks, the UFOs, none of this is like, like the old guard is dying. What if this is all, they got like a big boardroom and they're like, all right, the new offensive is coming on perfectly. Like, we released the files today. You got the Cernovich files, all right, we're going to do those. And do UFOs in September. We still have that, Bob. Could you look up? Thank you. Like, what if we are just... I guess there's really no point in even worrying about that then, because that would just mean we're at their utter mercy.
Maybe.
You want to do...
Maybe we're out with them.
You want to do like another 15 minutes?
Yeah.
You cool with that? 17 minutes, because it's 4:13. End at a cool 4:30. Let's just see how far off the deep end we can go. So, how much... What if COVID became airborne and there was like COVID hurricanes? Would there be even a point in trying to resist it?
Well, from what I've read, trying to stop a viral pandemic is like trying to stop the wind. You know, it's just...
You just gotta let it run. It's terrible. A ton of people are gonna die.
Yeah, it's terrible, and you know, we do have some things to help people. You know, we do have some pretty good medications to help treat people. You know, for whatever reason, some of those medications are controversial.
It's the fact that we've politicized fucking medical treatment.
Yeah, I mean, it's just stupid, right? But,
we deserve it.
You know, the fact that we've politicized this entire damn pandemic is fucking retarded.
We deserve it, I think.
Yeah.
If we politicized it, it's, you know what? Fuck it, it's our fault.
Yeah, our great-great-grandpa did something wrong, and...
It's like...
It's fucked.
Imagine if you could somehow travel back in time, but not interact with it. Imagine going back to 9/11 and seeing people like jump out of buildings. Be like, why are they jumping? Well, like the buildings are on fire. What happened? Oh, some Muslim terrorists crashed planes into it. You'd be like, what? What does that have to do with anything? Why are you jumping? You fucking bigot! Like you're in like the. Have you seen that political cartoon where it's like? And I'm not making light of it. One of the guests I've had on here was a firefighter on 9/11 at Ground Zero. Tony Tedeschi, who's my gym partner. But there's like a political cartoon where it's like two people like jumping from like the upper floors of the World Trade Center, and you know they're falling next to each other. But one of them just turns to the other and says, "How do you feel about enhanced interrogation techniques, like Guantanamo, like torture?"
Oh man.
Yeah, that hits hard because it's been 20 years and I think a lot of people forget, but it's like, dude, these people like just a Tuesday morning leaping to their deaths or being burned alive, but looked at it from today's light, it's like, well, do you have to say the terrorist attacks or can you just say the 9/11 catastrophe? And it's like, holy shit, dude, like really? So if we politicize that, then I think it's par for the course that we politicize COVID.
Man, it's so interesting, you know, how much we've changed post 9/11.
20 years.
I mean, really, like, I have to say, I think the Taliban won at this point because
it's what?
Like, some of the crazy shit. Was it the Taliban? No, it was Al Qaeda, right?
Yeah, it was Al Qaeda.
What faction was it?
It was Al.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think Al Qaeda splintered off from Taliban, or it turned into Taliban, or it was a faction. I have no idea.
Yeah. Who knows how those guys work over there or whatever? Don't really care. But man, I was watching this. It was a clip the other day, and they were talking about the main purpose of hitting the towers and how symbolic it was. It was like, well, they lured the. Yeah, like they lured the Soviets in, right? And the Soviets wasted a ton of time in Afghanistan, and then you know, fuck off, and then you know, the Soviets crash.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, what were they trying to do with 9/11? You know, I would gander the same thing.
Shit, man. I mean. Shit, you're right.
You know, think about how much time we've wasted in this
that place has been a
fucking war there.
That place has been a resource dump since Alexander the Great. And we always look at it and say, what a shithole. It's been a shithole for thousands of years. Maybe that's their modus operandi. Other empires rise and fall, and they are consistently a shithole. But no one can come near them. They're a black hole. You come near, it's quicksand. Pulls you in. Soviets. America, how do you bring down America? You don't fight them militarily, you drain them their resources. America, 9/11, now we go in there. So that means probably what, around 2030 or 2040, China will be occupying Iraq and Afghanistan. And the beast just wraps around them. Fuck your Belt and Road Initiative. They'll come in there. Hey, we're going to build you some power plants. Allahu Akbar! Boom! And they'll be like, what the fuck was that? What was that? That didn't happen anywhere else in the world. Like,
well, what blows my mind about the whole relationship between the Middle East and China, it's like,
China.
if you have any conscience, and you are a Middle Eastern country, and you see what's going on to, basically your kind there, then, well, you're gonna think, well, fuck these guys. Like, they're not friends with us. Like, they're religiously persecuting, a religion that's been deeply embedded in our culture for however fucking long it has been, but
yeah, it does seem like the Middle East, it's almost like the shark. It stopped evolving because it has turned into the perfect killing machine. Like a shark, its fins, its eye placement, its gills, you can only get a 100 on a test. You can't do better. It has evolved to the perfect thing, right? It's energy efficient, it's sleek, it's silent, its nose is insane. Maybe the Middle East it's hiding in plain sight. We're all like, what a backwards fucking shithole. Maybe it's just like, it has become the perfect killer, and it has since like before the pyramids. And like what that is just a pit of despair where everyone is just accustomed to death. People blow themselves up with the same indifference that you and I go pick up the newspaper. It's in the desert. It's like 150 fucking degrees. The landscape itself is quicksand. It's just sand. Just nothing is permanent. It's burning hot. And it sits on top of the fucking oil that everyone needs. So we all go in there like the sailors going towards the doomed sirens. And then it just latches on, and it demands sacrifice. And it doesn't want to improve itself. It's happy being this beast. It's like it's fucking Cthulhu or some shit.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of a void.
It doesn't care.
Whatever sucks in it spits out.
Yeah. Maybe there's been UFO crashes there. And they're like, we're going to crash this UFO, and they're going to find it, and they just find it and destroy it, and the aliens are like, what the fuck was that? It's pure acid. It's like the sun. You can't put anything near it. It just burns it. It's just fire. There's nothing to gain from it. It's just a hole of death. I don't know, man. That's kind of what it seems like.
I don't fucking know.
9 more minutes. We're gonna keep going deeper. Come on, we gotta go. We gotta go deeper. We gotta go deeper.
From what I heard, that place is just a fucking shithole. But
guys in special forces and like the CIA Special Activities Division, in Annie Jacobson's book "Surprise, Kill, Vanish," the guys in Special Activities Division describe it as a moral twilight zone. They're like, murder and rape is just so commonplace. I mean, it's not even like, oh, it's common, it's a bad place, like shootings in Chicago. It's like, no, they are as indifferent to that as they are tossing a baseball back and forth. And he said it's insane. Like, one of the guys said he was trying to teach like some of the indige, like mathematics and basic stuff, and he was like, he's like, there are purposes to this stuff. It's like, you can build up science programs. And pointed at the moon, he goes, we went to the moon in 1969, primarily because we mastered math. And one of the guys said, you can't go to the moon. And he said, why not? And he holds up his hand and he goes, it's too small. A human can't land on that. And that's when the guy was like, holy shit, I am in a fucking twilight zone. It is a Bermuda Triangle. It is a Bermuda Triangle.
I totally see where that guy's coming. I think it was my dad telling me. My dad was telling me one time about one of his friends that so he would go volunteer somewhere in Africa, and it was like they'd be teaching these villagers, how to put up these fences and stuff for their livestock. And it was like they'd get distracted every 30 seconds. Or every 30 minutes by catching their dinner, pretty much, because they'll see something and basically like a dog seeing a squirrel.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're starving.
Yeah,
you don't have time to think about. You don't have time to think about infrastructure when you're literally like, "Where's the next meal?"
Yeah, it's crazy to me. how many kids go missing in the U.S. every year? Like, it's an insane number.
A lot.
Yeah, so it's like you look at what's happening in Afghanistan, where it's, it doesn't really seem that a moral compass is that in hand there. But it's like, okay, well, maybe we just sweep the shit under the rug better,
Yeah, maybe. Maybe we're the same.
Yeah.
Well, it fucking seems like our top people are. Seems like they're at a...
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, like, they all should be hanged.
I mean, dude, it's at a point where it's like you can't even say, like, I'm not into the Illuminati, It's like, well, there was literally a temple on an island where all these politicians went and were pedophiles. A fucking, like, Byzantine temple. I'm talking, like, Epstein's temple. Like, there was a temple. A fucking pedophile temple. Like, that, you can't write that. That sounds like the most batshit fucking tinfoil hat. But it's not even fucking, you can Google it. I'll Google it right now. Fucking Epstein temple. It's insane. And it's like, but it's real. Right there. There you go. Just fucking top result. Top result. Just right there. It's, I mean, come on. Like, holy shit. Jesus Christ in heaven.
Dude, I just hope that, we have, like, some James Bond dude, or, like, the Wayfair scandal or whatever, right?
Oh, yeah, we did an episode about that a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
Oh, no.
Imagine you just, like, you bring yourself a couple guns, and then you get Wayfair to ship you to the pedophiles.
Ah, okay.
And then you just say, knock, knock, motherfucker. What were you expecting?
Surprise, motherfucker. Yeah, but it's... Maybe the giant tortoises, the island tortoises, destroy the island.
They're in control.
Maybe they're in control.
Yeah.
Maybe the UFOs are coming to save us. It's like some Stockholm syndrome where we're like, our leaders are bad, they're pedophiles, they wreck the economy, they create $1 trillion wars, but I mean, they love us, and it's just like we're just in an abusive an abusive relationship, and the UFOs are coming down and be like, I'm gonna show you a real man. they come down, destroy these pedophiles, give us 0-point energy and clean water, and get rid of pain and suffering and mental illness, and it's just we're like all battered women. Like, yeah. That would be the best outcome. I'm gonna show you a real man.
They're probably looking and knowing exactly what's actually going on, and it's probably like a comedy to them. And they're probably just thinking like, okay, when do we intervene? When do we do a little bit of the international policing and say, okay, you guys got to stop right now?
I mean. We look at North Korea and China with concentration camps, and we don't do anything because we're like, let's not upset the world balance. Even though, think about it, we have the power to, with impunity, we could bulldoze into North Korea tomorrow. With the impunity of the hand of God, we could go in there and free everyone. But we don't, because it's not the right political move. Well, you got to extend that logic. UFOs, aliens with God-tier technology, they could with the hand of God. Why aren't they? Maybe it's not politically advantageous. Maybe Earth is just another proxy war zone, just like Vietnam, where it's Soviets in America, or Soviets in the US, just like Korea, just battling each other on these, secondary and tertiary fronts. What if Earth is just... What if USA isn't the superpower? USA is just a fucking thing being propped up by an alien power, and China is something being propped up by another alien power, and we are just a proxy war.
Well, that'll be
what else?
Balls to walls.
Who will save us, Duran? Is Tom Hanks a pedophile?
Well, I mean, he did move to Greece.
Did move to Greece, who doesn't have an extradition treaty with the U.S. if the law is not illegal in Greece as well.
Well, don't they also look at pedophiles as like a mental illness there instead of a...
Well, yeah, so it's not illegal, so therefore most countries, it's if you have an extradition treaty, it doesn't matter if it's illegal in your country. You just acknowledge that it's illegal in the country of question, and because you and their government are friends, here's your guy. But apparently in Greece, and I realize I don't even know if that's the case. That could be entirely wrong. But in Greece, who cares? Let's go with it. Fake news. In Greece, you don't have. It doesn't. If it's not illegal there, then they don't recognize like a extradition request.
Oh, okay. I see.
But I don't even know if that's true. So I don't even know why I'm saying it so seriously. I have no idea, dude. I'm just as bad as a Twitter retweet. I'm just as bad as a fucking. We're just
casting all the.
We're just TMC. We're just fucking BuzzFeed. We're just like, oh, I heard that you can't do that. I heard that H1N1's in China and. Oh wait, that started here. My bad. It's just like we are what we hate.
We are.
What? Okay, last thing. What if what we discover? What if there are like interplanetary sharks? They exist in the ocean of space. And just like swimming between two islands, it's like, swim fast, motherfucker. There might be a great white between here and like the moon and here and Mars. They can't exist on an atmosphere, just like a shark can't. But they're just big sharks, like a mile long. And they swim along.
What are they eating?
I don't know. Who knows? That would be horrifying.
It would be.
if our telescopes were like, what the fuck is that? And there was just this big black mass just like comes up and just like a shark just eats the International Space Station.
Yeah, you just see a shark take a chunk out of the moon.
That would be horrifying. Okay, now, final one. What if the moon just wasn't here tomorrow? But let's not go into the whole physical effects of not having tidal locking and all the weather changes and all the realistic shit, reality. Fuck that. Let's just say nothing else changed. And the moon isn't there. What if there's just no moon anymore?
Well,
and no one fucking knows what happened.
It would be great to see the Milky Way.
It would. We would have a lot less light pollution.
We would. Moon's a bitch for that reason.
What if the moon was just fucking gone?
Man, that would like redefine.
You couldn't hide that.
Nightlife, man. Like
you couldn't hide that.
Yeah, no, that would be crazy. It would be like a piece of you missing.
Yeah, that would be weird. I remember me and my friends used to get fucking torched, and then we'd sit on like his roof in Georgia. This was in like high school. We would stare at the moon, just fucking higher than giraffe pussy, and we would just watch it. And eventually, like the thought came up, like, I wonder what like the first caveman to like first really set eyes on the moon thought. It's almost like we said earlier about not being able to look up. You're just hunting, gathering for a million generations, and finally one night you're sitting by a fire and you look up and you just like kind of nudge the other one. You're like, "Fuck's that?" Oh shit! I don't know. Maybe we were just really high and thought it was funny, but I've always thought that was just, what is that? Yo,
I think the dinosaurs look at the moon and think, "Oh, is that one of them again?"
Maybe that's why they didn't fucking do anything. Is they just thought it was the moon. Okay, what if the asteroid was actually a bomb and it was to wipe out dinosaurs so that humans could invade the Earth?
Makes sense.
We are going into just not even like conspiracy anymore. We're just going into like brain dead like banter. So let's wrap this bitch up.
All right.
The dinosaurs knew the moon was an asteroid, and therefore Epstein is the reason for the UFOs. I think that's the holy all of it.
Yep.
Fucking.
There's no logic to it.
No logic to it. But real quick. Predictions for the next time we talk. Is it UFOs? Is that it? Is that where we're on? Is there going to be another crumb? UFOs? or a radio signal from space, or something from the ocean. One of those three. We discover remnants of Atlantis. There's another UFO sighting and like UFO video, or we get like a signal from space. What do you think? Does Ghislaine?
I think it's more likely like a signal to space, you know.
And
So I'll go with that.
for the record, August 4th, 2020, does Ghislaine does the female Epstein commit suicide?
Probably
You think
sometime
so?
soon.
You think so? You
I
think
feel like she's feeling very suicidal.
You think she's gonna get suicided? You think she's gonna get Epsteined?
Yeah, definitely.
That's your bet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think they're bold enough to go for it. They won't even try to hide it. Yep, she killed herself too. You know, couldn't face the
Oh,
law.
what a shame.
Oh, what a shame.
No exposing pedophile rings today.
Yep, looks like the case goes cold there. And if it doesn't, it's going to be the UFOs. We need the aliens. I'll show you a real man. Come down. The real aliens are just Sylvester Stallone, and they just come down and beat up the fucking... Fuck this, we're going way off into the weeds. I'll text you later, Durrant. I'll see you, buddy. Stay safe.
Yeah.
Fucking Chuck Norris.